Welcome to Brex Living, where everyday life gets a little more beautiful. So today we are going to be talking about annuals. And it's something that I struggle with every spring. I stand out in my garden and I think to myself, what am I going to do this year? I'm sure you've probably had the same thought or are starting to have the same thought. The temperatures are starting to go up and you're starting to think, man, it's time to start planting those annuals. So for my house in particular, I've got two sort of strips in the front. Let me throw a picture up there for you of what that looks like. And I've got one on one side of the driveway, one on the other side of the driveway. They tend to match for the season. For my house, we live in a traditional brick colonial. However, we've been making some contemporary updates over the years while we've lived here. So you'll see here that we've actually painted the windows out black, we've removed the shutters, and added a fairly contemporary portico onto the front. So my house has this very transitional feel to it where it's not quite 100% traditional and it's not 100% contemporary. So it's very difficult to sort of use the architecture to guide us in what the plants should be doing out front. And really, what you do for your annual sort of dictates what the entire personality for the house is for that year. So it's a big decision. And thankfully, through the power of Photoshop and AI, I have been able to take what I've got here to start out with and do different versions of what I'm thinking about could be an option for us this year. So, first of all, let's talk about what we've done so far. 2 weekends ago, I guess it was now, we went out there and we raked out the leaves, although this picture doesn't look like we did anything, but we raked the leaves out of the bed. We trimmed down the things that need to be trimmed down for the year. So all of our limelight hydrangeas need to get trimmed down so that they'll grow this year. You do know that there's two different types of hydrangeas. There's the type that bloom on old wood and there's the type that bloom on new wood. So make sure you are pruning your hydrangeas correctly. Definitely look that up as you're doing your spring garden maintenance. But we went out there and we did some cleanup, right? Probably, I would say we need about probably 20 bags or so of topsoil just to sort of give it a nice layer to go on top of the beds where we're going to be working. That's coming very, very soon. As soon as we decide what we're actually going to do with the annuals, we'll go ahead and get that done. But really, there's two different ideas that I have, two competing ideas. One is to go completely monochromatic, which of course is instantly elegant. And then the other idea is to do something that I'm calling color explosion. Now, I can go either way really, and I think my house sort of lends itself to kind of going either way, so I'm in a really good situation where I can kind of pick which way to go. And typically, I would tell most people, let your house sort of dictate what it is. However, I think there's something really interesting about doing the opposite of what your house is telling you to do what it is also. So as you're looking at your own house, think about what the architecture is telling you and either go with it or go completely against it. Because doing that juxtaposition of something that's completely opposite of what the house is telling you to do makes it just incredible to look at, and people are really going to stop you on the street while you're out there and say that you have a beautiful garden just because it's so unusual and just different looking than what they're expecting. So so as I'm looking at the two different options, I was able to take that original photo that I took and put it into Photoshop and then into AI and give me a couple options. So let's look at those together and see what you guys think, and we'll just talk them through. So this first image here is a monochromatic version done all in pink. It's beautiful. There's different shades of pink. There's blush, there's medium pink, there's sort of a coral pink and a darker sort of hot pink. Even the coleus is sort of a burgundy, which really lends some depth to this scheme. And I really think this is super beautiful and definitely something I am very much interested in trying. You'll see with all of these schemes that I am working with sort of three main flowers. It's geraniums, it's snapdragons, and it's petunias. And that's really because I can just get them in all these colors that we're working with. But also for rendering purposes, it's great to kind of show nice fullness in the rendering. But there are definitely three things that I would use anyway, along with lots of other different things. You'll also see in the picture, I've got all of my perennials that are going to be providing a lot of structure for the garden as well. We've got some gardenias in there. We've got some anise. We've got our ornamental trees and things like that. I also have some Asian forest grass that's planted in the bed that's going to provide a nice little hit of chartreuse to all of these schemes. So let's keep that in mind as we're looking through them. This next option is all white, and honestly, it is elegant. It is so elegant. It is something that you would see in the very expensive parts of town, and it's beautiful. We've got some darker coleus in there in the dark purple that provides some nice contrast. I really love it. However, from a maintenance standpoint, for me personally, the thing with white is that they turn yellow after a while whenever the blooms are kind of done, and then you've got a lot of deadheading to do. So from a maintenance perspective, that's just a lot of work for me that I'm not sure that I actually want to take on throughout the season. Now this next option is all purple. You can see we've got different shades of purple from dark to light. This would be really great. We could add in some of those purple coleus with the chartreuse edging around them. You could use Persian's Shield. You could use Purple Heart. There's lots of different things in purple. Again, the geraniums, the snapdragons, the petunias, all in purple. And I think this could be actually very striking to do things all in one color. Also, I haven't mentioned yet, but I'll mention here in a minute, talk a little bit more about it. I have some bulbs that I have planted that are gladiolas. I've got irises. I've got some lilies. I've got some dahlias. So all those things are kind of interspersed in there and will be coming up as well. And really the only thing that would match this scheme, you know, the right way would be the irises and the gladiolas. And I might have a purple dahlia out there. I can't remember if I did purple and peach or just peach, but otherwise the lilies are orange, and like I said, the dahlias are peach. And I've got some peonies out there in a pink that they never really last very long. The peonies, they're out there maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks before they're kind of done, just with the fact that it's so hot here. Now this next one, honestly, is something that I would never in a million years pick. However, with the power of renderings, I'm able to actually try it out. And I think that this is far more interesting than I thought it was going to be. But this is reds and oranges. So I've taken and done all reds and oranges. You can see that darker burgundy coleus in there as well to provide that depth. It's beautiful. It's just a little hot for my taste. But I don't know. It's nice to see it in rendering. And it's nice to sort of see how it works out. So, monochromatic, what do you think? Is it something you would do? Is it something I should do? I don't know. I'm still torn at this point. I think that, if I was going to do monochromatic, I'm leaning towards the purple. Probably my favorite color in a garden are those dark inky purples. So I think that, the purple version is probably my favorite for the monochromatic ones. But let's see what color explosion looks like. So you'll see here, it's every color under the rainbow. We've got red, we've got orange, we've got yellow, purple, pink, everything you can possibly imagine here. I mean, it's just a party, right? It feels youthful, it feels exuberant. It's probably the best way to incorporate my bulbs that will be coming up, just given the fact that the colors are all there already. So, I think that this is definitely an option, and it's definitely something that we can explore. I feel like I've done this maybe a little bit last year, and the year before that, I kind of just planted what I wanted to plant, and it kind of worked out. If I were to do this again, I would go just a little bit more whole hog with it and add even more plants this time and let them really grow and get big. Yeah, I like this. I think it's cool. But this next option is also color explosion, but it's taking two colors and really focusing on that. So this one is pink and purple, and taking purple plants and pink plants, putting them together. They work really well together because they sort of have that similar temperature to them. And I think this one's really beautiful. It also has the coleus, it's got the burgundy, it's got that chartreuse that sort of makes it feel fresh. Yeah, I really love this one too. So I think that I've got a big decision ahead, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. So definitely comment below and let me know what you're thinking. And we'll see if we end up with the same thing that you're thinking. But definitely like and subscribe to Rex Living, and I'll see you in the next video.